Hello everyone, this is Renee Christ, Jesus Christ Reborn, here for the reading that we have scheduled at 6 p.m. on, it is April 28th at 6 p.m. And so I'm doing a reading for the world citizens. I've invited those of you, I had a talk earlier from in the astral plane, and I reached out to everybody, the world citizens from all countries on the globe, inviting you to this reading. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Please know that I know that you can hear me because my voice is God's voice. I know that I can be heard across the astral plane and all throughout the earth plane. And so that is who I'm connected to. But I will say that I ask all demons, demonic energies, and antichrists, as well as God demon, God oath and demon, and Satan to exit this reading. So I'm now connected to all world citizens besides those who I've just asked to leave. Okay, so thank you all so much for joining me. Know that the reason, I do want to record this reading, but another reason why I'm recording this reading is because there are two persecutors in my life. There are two of many, okay? Two of many. But these particular persecutors, they rape me all day, all night, taking shifts together and basically inhabiting my body so that they can feel all of my senses, so that they can know everything that I know. They are paid literally by the U.S. Congress and by basically all federal agencies to stalk me, spy on me, document about me, study me, become me, okay? And also to subdue my soul. I will talk more about that later because it goes deep. But these two people in particular who rape me incessantly, their names are Gigi Young and Kristen Rubis. And they work with many, many people in my community, as well as many, many people in the federal government, state government, and county and local governments as well, to keep me hidden from the public, to keep me isolated, to keep me abused and neglected, to keep me raped and subdued, to keep me sedated, to keep me from having a job because of said sedation, and therefore I am homeless now. All right, I became evicted. My children were abducted and trafficked, and Gigi Young and Kristen Rubis are part of this, a big part of this. Okay, as well as their ongoings in the federal government. They are federal government employees, haven't been paid by the federal government with my magnanimous inheritances as Jesus Christ Reborn, Renee Christ. Okay, as you can imagine, Jesus Christ Reborn may have been left significant inheritances from people all across the globe, and that is just the case. From every single country on earth, people have left me inheritances that belong to me and that have never been dispersed to me because all countries on earth have stolen them. Specifically my country, where I was born and raised, the United States of America, those countries who transferred the inheritances that belong to me, that were bequeathed to me, they were of course intercepted by my very own government, the United States of America. And in order to, to keep it, to steal it, okay? I would further like to just announce to the, to whoever watches my readings, to the American citizens and to the world citizens, I am here. I am not only Renee Christ, Jesus Christ Reborn, I am the Christ Queen. I am the sovereign of nations. Okay, specifically, I am the sovereign of the current country of the United States of America, and I have annexed Canada as well. Okay, a few people know this right now because Donald John Trump is, I toppled him, let's just say, on the Friday before April 2nd. I made him leave the White House. Why? Because he is a heinous criminal, crimes against humanity and war crimes, including the persecution of Renee Christ, that's me, Jesus Christ Reborn, He has been responsible for heinous crimes against humanity throughout the world, using our very own military and all federal agencies, abusing his power, abusing our government in order to abduct and traffic children, produce rape videos of children, to have our U.S. military rape these children on military boats, military bases, and then post these on their hidden and dark web websites to basically procure decillions of dollars. And it's not just the U.S. military. It is also the U.S. Congress. It is also other government agencies. They're all profiting off rape videos of myself, my children, and many other children and people. Okay? And that is not all. These people, these children, and some adults, this is child and human trafficking. This is done through our very own U.S. military, of which I want to call out because he was the commander-in-chief. I called him out for his heinous crimes. Some of these crimes include the live embalming of children, live embalming, in order to rubberize their bodies, to turn them into rubber, to make them into rubber doll sex toys for the financial elite to pay $50 million a piece or more for a child, a dead child that's been rubberized to turn into a sex toy. Okay? The abused U.S. military has been ordered by him to commit these crimes. And also, the malevolent leaders who he gives these top-down orders to, most, if not all, are also responsible for these heinous crimes against humanity. Okay? In addition, our U.S. military personnel, many of them, while some of them may have been malevolent in their ongoings to commit the crimes that they were ordered to commit, many of these people, there are some malevolent folks who are being culled. That being said, there are many folks who contracted with the U.S. military not knowing what they were getting themselves into. And if they were to say anything about these heinous crimes, this massive criminal network that is called the, quote, Mexican Army, unquote, they got involved in something they didn't realize was happening until after they signed up. And so many U.S. military members have been entrapped in this terrible situation whereby they are forced to become involved with child rape, child abduction, child trafficking, child rape video producing, child rape video producing profiteering. Excuse me. They're attacking my throat right now. I apologize for my voice. There's so many crimes that have happened at the hands of Donald John Trump, as well as Gigi Young and Kristen Rubis, two of my main persecutors at this time. I have called for their arrests. I could go on. There's so much that has happened. Okay, I called a citizen's arrest upon the entire U.S. government for complete U.S. government corruption on February 18th at the Thurston County Superior Court. Just before a hearing at 9 a.m. that I had regarding child custody of my children. Okay, they were illegally restrained from me by the Olympia School District. Their various schools, Olympia High School and Washington Middle School, as well as the Olympia Police Department and the Superintendent of Public Instruction, Chris Reichdahl, who heads all of our schools, our public schools, all of which are child trafficking. Okay? And so all of this was facilitated via the schools, the school district, the superintendent, the Olympia Police Department, as well as the Thurston County Court, specifically using, there was one court commissioner, which I don't remember his name, but the other one was Nathan Cox, Thurston County Court commissioner, who worked and slept with my ex-husband, slept with Gigi Young and Kristen Rubis, and many people in the U.S. military in order to exact the perceived legal abduction of my children to their child trafficking, child raping, child murdering father, Lloyd Earl Tomlin Jr. okay, and his wife, Ellen Lindquist Tomola. All right, they all conspired to a court hearing to basically abduct my children via perceived legal means, but it was illegal. On the very day I was supposed to have a court hearing regarding the because he wanted to basically incarcerate me via a what was it called, God? A forced mental health evaluation, because he refused and he gaslit me using governmental narcissism. He gaslit me to tell me at the previous hearing that I was not who I say I am. Everyone knows who I am. The U.S. government has been tracking me since I was born. The U.S. military has plenty of evidence. They have been video recording me all of my life, as well as the FBI, the CIA. They're all involved with documenting my life, studying me, etc. Okay, so on February 18th, I held the citizen's arrest in a court of law. And so not only did Nathan Corder Cox at the Thurston County Court know that I called an actual citizen's arrest on the entire U.S. government, but I asked and I demanded for the closure of the U.S. court system from the Supreme Court all the way down to the lower courts, because all of these crimes are being committed through the courts, through a corrupt system of attorneys and judges, all of which belong to a group known as the, quote, Mexican Army, unquote. The Mexican Army does not have to do with Mexico. It also does not have to do with Mexico's army. What it does have to do with is the members consist of the U.S. government, federal, state, local, and tribal, as well as all other countries' governments. Furthermore, the Mexican Army also consists of the United States power structures and all other countries' power structures. For example, all of the institutions, all of the industries, okay? So medical industry, real estate industry, building industry, food industry, Hollywood elites, etc. Hospital systems, medical systems, school systems, court systems, etc. Okay, anything that holds legitimate power and authority, including corporations, businesses. Okay, they're all involved in this group called the Mexican Army, with a subgroup of women called the White Girl Collective. Self-named. These are names that God told me, okay, that they call themselves. The Mexican Army is named the Mexican Army because it is a slight, a racist slight against me. They think that I am Mexican. I am not. Okay? And I will just leave it there because I don't want to get into my heritage right now. All right. So I've just explained a whole lot at the beginning of this reading, which I have yet to start. But I needed to say this because Gigi Young and Kristen Ribis, the rapists who will not let me go a day or an hour even without being raped from the astral plane and or being sedated to be raped in the physical plane. It is so incessant that let's just say I may take matters into my own hands to protect myself, because they will not stop. And the fact is that all of the country's governments, they all know that I exist and have for 52 years or more, because they knew I was coming. They refused to break the fourth wall, meaning there are people who should have said something, knowing that I was calling out the divine truth about the crimes against me, the persecution of Renee Christ, on my YouTube channel, Sky Above, Earth Below. So my YouTube channel, every single video on it is relevant to my persecution and or the crimes that the Mexican Army is committing. Okay? God, should I say anything else before I actually just get into this reading? Yes. Because, God is saying that people want to know why Donald John Trump is no longer a president. I will tell you this. Because on February 18th, I called for February 18th, 2026, I called a state of emergency due to complete U.S. government corruption. This is coming from all of the information that I've received from God. Some of which is posted on my YouTube channel, Sky Above, Earth Below. Other things that I've gotten from God, I channel God all day long when He is available to me. But that is another story, because the U.S. government has gone through great lengths to separate God and I, our communication, and to have to remove God from my life. That being said, because I declared the state of emergency due to complete U.S. government corruption, I also called for a citizen's arrest of the United States government and the closure of all of the U.S. court systems because of the corruption. And so the hearing that I was at, where I called this, at that time, the court should have been closed. And I told Nathan Corder Cox, Thurston County Court Commissioner, that he should call the U.S. Supreme Court and get a hold of them, because they know exactly what I am talking about. All U.S. Supreme Court justices are involved not only in the human sex trafficking, the child trafficking, but they are also involved in the raping of me, my children, also in human sacrifice to keep it all a secret. Okay, these are number 33 Freemasons, etc. This is one giant, the Mexican army is one giant secret society, okay? That being said, because I called the citizen's arrest, other things took place in the astral plane. I have been in communication with the U.S. Congress, the U.S. military, the FBI, the CIA, and the government in general, where I reside in the United States of America, the federal, state, local, and tribal governments. I've been communicating to them through the astral plane. My body and my energetic field are most often contained in a frequency force field by which they imprison me in, so that most people from the astral plane cannot see where I am at or even know that I exist. And so in these communications, these are private communications. Well, we'll see. Certain things come to light to the astral plane because my voice is God's voice. And so I can be heard by the astral plane and by the earth plane, should I intend that. Donald John Trump's removal came during that time. After I had called for the citizen's arrest and the state of emergency and the closure of the U.S. court systems, I asked I gave several divine orders with God to the U.S. Congress and to the U.S. military to fulfill. And one of those was the arrest of Donald John Trump, Gigi Young, and Kristen Rubis. They must be arrested for heinous crimes against humanity, and including U.S. traitorism. U.S. traitorism is punishable by death. Okay? All three of these folks conspired together and with many, 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 many people within our own government in the United States and all other governments. Okay, so it is known by the U.S. Congress, by the FBI, the CIA, and all of the United States government that Donald John Trump is supposed to be incarcerated at this time. That being said, because he is not, because the U.S. Congress does not want to break the fourth wall, and therefore they are, let's just say, allying with Donald John Trump to basically, Donald John Trump knows he does not have a leg to stand on. There is so much evidence against him in regards to all of this, him abusing his power and using our U.S. military to commit heinous crimes against humanity, as well as all other government agencies, including the United States Department of Transportation, our highway systems, okay, big white trucks, big white vans, etc., transporting children everywhere. But I digress. Donald John Trump, I've been in communication with him too. Why? Because he comes to me all the time to rape me in the astral plane, to glean information from me, and also to glean everything about my leadership, about how I speak, how I address the public, how I lead, my expectations, who I am as God on earth, what my communications are to God. All of this he spies on, and then he takes it to the public and acts like he is me. Okay? He is an impersonator. He is an imposter. every godlike thing he appears to do at this time has to do with his impersonations of me, having studied me through the astral plane. Okay? So if it appears that he is appearing benevolent, but also very strong, if he appears to be aligned with God, if he appears to be acting godlike, why, there is a reason for that. He has been witnessing, observing, stalking, raping me, Renee Christ, Jesus Christ reborn. Of course, he can do that anytime because of the frequency force field that the U.S. government, specifically the U.S. military, done so by Gigi Young and Kristen Ribis, who are unofficial, yet official U.S. military members. Okay? They have been illegally placed as generals, per se, of the U.S. military, and this is how our U.S. military has become abused to be entrapped, to be forced to commit certain crimes, or else be killed. All right, and so Donald John Trump should be behind bars right now due to these crimes and traitorism, and so that is that. I told Donald John Trump to be out of the U.S. of the White House. Let's see, the Friday before April 2nd. And he left and he went into hiding. And since then he's been popping in and out of my energy to still spy and stalk on me, and to also give unofficial orders to the U.S. military, those who are still allying with him, the malevolent ones. Okay? Also to just be current on what I've got going on, so he can pretend to lead. All right, I've said so much right now, and I haven't even read. Should I continue with the reading, God? You want me to stop? Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to cleanse the energy, please. God, where are you? Are you wanting me to or not? Okay, let me cleanse the energy, and I'm going to tap back in, okay, everybody? I disconnect from all demons, demonic energies, and antichrist, and I sever and destroy them from my energetic soul, from all human-souled beings, and from all spiritual beings. I disconnect from God demon, God oath and demon, and Satan, as well as their attachments, and I sever and destroy their attachments and any potential attachments from them. I connect to God, the Creator Divine, at the frequency at the top of His divine frequency range possible. I connect to the world's citizens, except for all demons, demonic energies, and antichrist, and except for God demon, God oath and demon, and Satan. Okay, so I am still connected here. God, should I continue with the reading? So separate that, and then do a separate reading. Can you please state your name? Okay. All right, everybody. God is asking me to stop this video because it's been quite a long video already. I will come back and record a second video with the actual reading, okay?